Greetings from Costa Rica. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to this Real Estate Forum with Costa Rica Matt. It's Real Estate Forum number 7 here, Friday, March 24th. Every Friday live at noon, we're discussing different aspects of Costa Rica real estate, whether it's a listing that you want to know about, a particular gated community, or a different area of the country. I don't actually love traveling myself that much, so I love to have guests come on and talk about their area of the country. And today we have a very special guest joining us from an area that's very far from me called Turrialba. Turrialba is in the southeastern part of Costa Rica, whereas we're broadcasting from northwestern Guanacaste. My name is Matt Rosensteel, aka Costa Rica Matt. My guest today is Lauren Kell. Lauren and his family have a property down in Turrialba, an amazing farm. We're going to be talking about the area of Turrialba with Lauren, his property, taking a look at what they're offering in the Costa Rica real estate market. Stay tuned. Lauren, thank you very much for joining me for this Costa Rica Real Estate Forum. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Absolutely. Would you tell us about Turrialba? What's this area of Costa Rica like? I've never been.
Turrialba, it's in the Central Valley, so it's surrounded by all the agricultural areas. Turrialba is rich with culture. It's kind of dating back almost 1,000 years in Costa Rica as far as a community. It has Guayabo National Park, which has those round stone balls, right?
Okay.
They're like perfect spheres, that you see in Costa Rica. Pejivalle would be a small community outside of Turrialba where you have the famed Pejivalle Festival or Turcarique. So if you eat pejivalles, one of the primary agricultural products of Costa Rica is the pejivalle, and it comes from this area as well as limon too, but primarily and very famously this area.
Yeah. No, what did you say the name of a pejivalle in English is, or the other name that you use? Because I don't know what you call it in English.
Palm. It's a palm fruit, I think. Yep. Palm fruit.
Yeah. These things, I am not a big fan of them. To me, they taste a lot like squash. But these pejivalles are fruits about this large that they serve boiled. And you can usually, when it's pejivalle season, all of the supermarkets in our area will have a boiling or, a cauldron of hot water in the front of the store. So it's super interesting.
They remind me of
more about how high above sea level are you guys? What's your altitude?
We're at 700 meters. Our house is at 700 meters. So okay. Turrialba is probably sitting, 400 meters or something. It's not too high. Uh-huh. You kind of actually have to crest over the mountains as you come through Cartago, and you kind of come over the mountains and then drop down into the Turrialba Valley. For the agriculture, the famous Turrialba cheese, right? Uh-huh. So if you're eating cheese anywhere in Costa Rica, you're eating Turrialba cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's, I've got some in the supermarket next door to me. This elevation obviously creates a much cooler climate. At sea level here in Guanacaste, we have one of the hottest, driest parts of Costa Rica. Where would you say your average temperatures are up there in the mountains?
Oh, average temperature. Let's see. On a hot day, we're probably sitting at a sweltering 85, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. And like when it gets cold, even on like a cold evening, it might be in the high 60s. So it really stays pretty temperate.
Yeah. Would you say the high 60s is the absolute coldest it gets there, or is it?
Oh, I think it's probably close to the absolute coldest. Probably the absolute coldest is, at least in my experience, it's been here. 9 years or something in this area.
Yeah. And are there a lot of expats in Turrialba? Is this an area where you see foreigners investing?
Yeah, it's a different type of foreigner. I mean, when you think about your area in particular, there's not a lot of growth as far as like agricultural growth, right? It's sweltering hot. It's kind of more the beach experience.
Yep.
What Turrialba you find more kind of agrarian peoples that want more food security,
Mm-hmm.
sustainability. Here in Turrialba, there's a big farmers market
Yep.
with some local organic growers, some of the local co-ops. Um, the big cane fields, if you're familiar with sugar cane and how that comes out of Juan
You have
Vinas,
sugarcane up there in Turrialba?
Juan Vinas, the like huge sugarcane company is just
Mm-hmm.
outside on the other side of Turrialba. On our side, where we're at, is sucra. So if you ever have sucra, which is the organic sugar, is
Uh-huh.
produced right here outside of Turrialba, about 20 minutes outside of Turrialba.
Okay. Yeah. No, you guys are definitely the source for a lot of, you know, the stuff that I'm recognizing here.
Yeah, the coffee.
How long have you and your family been up in that area?
We're in our ninth year, so in October it'll be nine. It'll be 9 complete years. So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. And let's tell us a bit about the property that you have up there.
The property that we have, the main house is just under 8,000 square feet. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. We have been living in this house as a multi-generational family since.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a separate second house that is on a contiguous parcel that is just outside the main gate. The property itself, with all the contiguous parcels, there's 6 in entirety. They're all contiguous. Total 50 acres. So when
Okay.
we got here, I mean, we're standing really on the shoulders of the previous owners.
Yeah.
So they built the house. They bought the property, the second house, and then they built the main house, and then they left.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we ended up with all sorts of property. So we have been installing the pastures and the roads and the water accesses and the milk barns and workshops and the cabina and all the stuff to be a sustainable farm. And
Yeah.
for us, our design was to be sustainable. So
Yeah.
we have grown everything from dryland rice. We have dryland rice and beans. So you got frijoles y arroz. We have grown corn, all the
Yeah.
colored, the criollo corn that you have. We have bananas and mature fruit trees, dairy cows. We've raised animals for beef.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all kind of in there, and that's only 12 hectares and that's leaving a remaining almost 6 that we haven't even gotten to yet. It still has
Yeah.
roads and everything in it. So yeah, it's
Yeah, no, absolutely. It sounds like so your family is very much part of this group or the kind of cohort of foreigners that are more focused on the sustainability aspect and being able to live off the land more. If you're just joining me now, I'm hosting Lauren Kell. Lauren and his family have a farm in Turrialba, which is about as different from Guanacaste as you can get in Costa Rica. It's in the Central Valley, down sort of the south. It's the southeast side of the Central Valley, right?
yeah,
If I'm not, yeah.
yeah.
But they're up at 600 meters above sea level. I'm down at 50 to 100 meters above sea level. And the stark contrast, the difference in the climates here couldn't be bigger. You know, right now I'm looking outside and we have brown, the trees have lost their leaves. The dirt roads are dusty. We just started getting a little bit of rain as we enter our rainy season again. What's your annual cycle of rain look like up there in Turrialba? I hadn't asked about that.
Yeah, we get I'm going to say we kind of get rain, quote unquote, all year round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we here at the property in our microclimate have measured in 2021 we measured 90 inches of rain,
Okay.
and in 2022 it was 100 inches of rain.
Yeah. No, but that's
So
interesting. We registered more, our rainy season this last year was super intense, and it once in 30 years, but we were over 120
Right.
in a super intense year. I would have figured that cumulatively you guys were up further than that. Would you say 90 to 100 is the average inches of rain, or is that sort of a dry year for you guys?
No, it's Costa Rica's tough, right? Because we're like this big, like swirling mixing pot of climates.
Yep.
So for us, we average about 100 inches of rain, but I can turn and I can look outside and look over the hill at a place that is literally driving distance, half hour from here.
Yep.
And it's only a half hour because the roads are, zigzaggy and short and, but a short half hour drive is like 300 inches of rain.
Wow.
Right. So,
Holy cow.
we're always green. The pastures are always green. Lots of water. The only time we usually water the gardens is like when we have big new plantings that go in. Right.
And so that would be, you're driving just over the slope to really that Caribbean side and getting the effect over there, you're saying, is that much more water than where you are sort of on the other side of the intercontinental ridge.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Kind of, but no. If if I am standing facing west, immediately to my let's see, west never eats our wheat. Yeah, to the south, there is what's called Esperanza, which is montaña and a big kind of natural, habitats where there's large tracts of natural land and hardwoods and all that kind of stuff. And they get lots of rain.
Yep.
And we're just, as the crow flies, maybe minutes, literally maybe 8 minutes as the crow flies, or 10 minutes as the crow flies. And so we kind of are in this, excuse me,
strange microclimate. Yeah, no, that's super cool. And that's everywhere, in Guanacaste. Yeah. Down here, we've already had 4 days of rain. 3 minutes up the road, they haven't gotten their first rains of the year yet. And even then, you see during the rainy season, there will be nights where on my side of the hill, we measure a ton, and Ray the next morning reports, half the rain, even though his rain gauge physically is so close to ours, just because pockets of water can do different things. And that's really cool. I want to say, so we're going to talk about Lauren's property a bit more here in a moment. If you're sitting and watching at home and you want to bring up Lauren's website, you can do so by getting out your trusty smartphone, holding it up, switching to your camera function, and then looking at the QR code with your cell phone. That will bring up Lauren's property in your web browser on your phone, and you'll be able to see exactly what they're doing to promote their property. So I'm interested first, obviously on the real estate forums, we're always just trying to get an idea for what's available, the different types of property that you can find in different areas of Costa Rica. Again, the farm that we're going to be looking at with Lauren and his family is down in Turrialba. I'm also interested to talk to Lauren about what it's been like trying to do a for sale by owner, or also trying to search for a realtor. I know he's in an area where there aren't dozens of real estate agents. In Guanacaste, where you've got tons of tourism, you have tons of expats, there are real estate agents crawling out of every corner. And yes, I use the word crawling as a word, as a deliberate word. But anyhow, you've got agents everywhere in Tamarindo. Down where Lauren is, he and his family are really going to have to look to start marketing this property themselves. And part of the way they've done so is through their website. I'll bring it up here so that everyone can see it now. First of all, I want to comment, Lauren obviously knows you're doing much better than a lot of for sale by owner folks that I see out there, because you have your key phrase, your absolute short description, so that people know what they're getting into right there on the website. And I personally appreciate the marketing genius behind putting 5 simple words there as really what's going on here. How much you guys asking for your property? I'm just going to click around here so that people can browse with me.
Yeah, if we're asking 1,369,776. So if you click around,
1,369,776.
Correct.
Write that down, Dimitri, so I can remember to say that.
Yeah, as you follow the website will take you through photos, take pictures, and then it'll click for pricing, and really building value and understanding what the property has to offer, what is being offered. We're offering a turnkey, move-in ready, fully furnished, all the equipment. We brought 2 shipping containers of home goods and farm equipment.
Yeah.
And vehicles to Costa Rica when we brought it here. So we completely transplanted all the way down here. And so it's all kind of going with the property.
Oh, absolutely. This is the main house that you said is about 8,000 square feet.
8,000 square feet. It's a little less than 50-50. You got an indoor, outdoor, but it all, with bifold glass doors, everything opens to indoor, outdoor living, kind of common to Costa Rica.
Yep. Let me comment on this a little bit. This is the kind of place that I hope to retire someday and literally, like, contrasting, if I could turn the camera around right now with what you're looking at in the pictures scrolling on the screen, are exactly why I would want to someday live in a property like the one that Lauren and his family have. The temperatures are moderate year-round. They're perched up in the mountains where you're surrounded by views of green rolling countryside. By the way, Lauren is not offering, I'm not at all trying to get a part of Lauren's sale from this. So you're emailing Lauren directly if you want to get his information about this property. But this area and, the mountains of Costa Rica compared to Guanacaste are just night and day difference. Cooler. You've got, honestly, the communities up there have an entirely different feel because they're still very active with agriculture. In Guanacaste, and especially these coastal areas, you've seen small family farms essentially die over the last 2 decades. And these houses that they've got up there, really, you can live outside or inside year round. I wanted to try and get back to the photos. Now, one of the things Lauren had asked me was that he wanted to pick my brain a little bit about the website and what he's doing here. And one of the things that I would say to anybody selling their property in Costa Rica is that the value of absolutely professional photos is enormous. And these are fine, wonderful pictures to get a complete idea of the property. I'm trying to get back to the beginning here, here we go. So we're back at the house. One thing I would say, Lauren, immediately get some professional photos. It's the absolute best $1,000 maximum that you can spend, because your house is absolutely gorgeous, and somebody who knows this kind of property, I imagine myself sitting up on those terraces and enjoying exactly what I know is up there. These photos won't necessarily evoke that to somebody who's never been in the area before. And if you guys are asking $1,369,776 for a property, I would definitely suggest that $1,000 investment, I'm saying 1,000, would actually get you videos, drone photos, on and on and on, would be the best investment you could absolutely make to start off with. Is there a particular reason you hadn't done pro photos yet? Will you be doing them? Or
the plan is, yes, the plan is to get some pro photos, to get some drone out here, to do all that kind of stuff. It's been a process. It's been 6 months getting the house ready to go. Everything from new gutters, paint, 8,000 square feet. I have been painting this house for nearly 6 months. Okay. From ceilings, beams, interior, interior, exterior, all the way out to the gate, everywhere.
Yeah. Oh,
I did
man.
not want a single square inch of previous color paint being seen.
Yeah. No, no, for sure. That's a great first move that you did, and congrats on already doing the right stuff there.
Thank you.
Prepping your house for showing. Now get those real pro photos out there. That'll be those extremely interesting, those images that make people think that's a cool place and go for it immediately is where I would head. But overall, I think that, one of the biggest struggles can be as a, seller in an area that's not populated by real estate agents. You're trying to get exposure for your listing. Have you put this out anywhere on the web or tried to find independent platforms? Or because you're just getting ready, are you still sort of in the startup stages and focused on only getting a house ready?
Oh no, well, the getting the house ready is kind of, for the most part, come to completion. It's just kind of details and make it, little this and that. But it's done. I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I'm done fixing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not fixing it.
Yeah.
Please don't misunderstand me. But yeah, getting those details, the fresh paint and the brand new painted gutters and the whole 9 yards. But we are still kind of in the beginning stages of getting the marketing done.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I just
absolutely.
built the website. I built a YouTube channel, trying to get the Facebook page, trying to initially do that, getting it indexed with Google, trying to get as many realtors advised as possible.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that definitely you're going to have to, that social media, there are such active groups out there of people looking to move to Costa Rica for this kind of property. You're in a situation where there aren't a ton of people browsing real estate websites in Turrialba for your property, but there are millions of people out there looking for a sustainable lifestyle and to move off the grid and to have their own farm. And so I'd really, you've got a great core website that you can send to people with information.
Thanks.
I would now try to drive traffic to that website with your social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, we've got sustainable lifestyle and there are so many people on YouTube, especially looking for that Costa Rica homestead, your permaculture kind of people.
Yeah.
You'll definitely get a lot of people visiting the site. I think you'll especially have a challenge finding the intersection between those people who want to be sustainable and the people that also have $1,369,000 to spare. Because a lot of the people in that permaculture sort of search are usually some of the lowest budget cohort, sort of people that we can see. But definitely, I know that in this moment, there are millions of people out there looking to move to Costa Rica, find a more sustainable way of life, and have access to their own good food sources. We did have a question from a user. I can guess the answer to this, but Chaz wanted to know, do you use or need air conditioning up there in the mountains of Turrialba?
No. No, the way the house is designed, actually, with the bifold glass doors that open.
Yeah.
And the previous owners did a lot of research on getting this very location for when the breeze picks up in the afternoon, if it's been sunny all day.
Yeah.
Right about now, the breeze is starting to kick up with the doors that are open. Air flows right through the house. And so it never really gets hot. It's just kind of a comfortable, it's a comfortable breeze that blows over you. So if you're out working in the garden, you're out working in the pastures, you're out working in the field, and you come in sweaty and you plop down and you get the breeze, it's like evaporative cooling.
Yeah.
You can take a nap and it's delightful.
Well, and I'd mentioned, Chaz, my family out here in Guanacaste, where it's much hotter, uses AC maybe only 5 or 6 nights a year when April becomes so unbearable and the winds stop. if you intelligently design a home here in Costa Rica so that that airflow is there, here in Guanacaste, we have plenty of breeze at the hottest times of year. And between the insulation from your roof and the airflow, you can live an air conditioning less lifestyle. A lot of people out here in Guanacaste, yes, would need their AC units to survive through the night. And especially Americans and Canadians who are used to having those cooler temperatures. You would need it a lot here in Guanacaste, up where Lauren is, virtually none. I really feel like the temperatures up there rarely get to the temperature where you're required, or an American would feel like they even need it up there.
Never.
By the way, we will be putting the link to Lauren's website in the description of this video. So if you want to find out more about his property, I wanted to mention that we have a new segment we're going to be bringing into our broadcast in just a minute. I get feedback, both positive and negative, on my channel, and I wanted to start featuring some of the most negative feedback as well with my new segment, The Rager of the Week. We'll get to that in just a moment. But before we wrap up with that, I wanted to thank Lauren for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We've been talking for a while, and I'm glad we had a chance to chat. If you're out there looking for a 50-acre property with an enormous home and everything that you need, including the equipment, the tractor, everything to start a Costa Rica homestead lifestyle, Lauren and his family have a beautiful property up there that maybe someday we'll get to go visit ourselves. But for the time being, it's for sale by owner. The link to their website is in the description. Again, it's listed for $1,369,776 up there in Turrialba. Lauren, thanks very much for joining me today. I very much appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Take care. We'll talk again soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
As I mentioned, I do want to pay attention to not only the positive feedback, but the negative feedback that I receive across my social channels. Being a social media micro influencer, you definitely get some comments from fun personalities out there that seem like they might have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. So every week now, we're going to be featuring who we call our Rager of the Week, who has commented on one of my social media platforms in a negative way. And this week's Rager of the Week goes to Roberto S., who gave us this gem of a Rager when they said, "Why don't say that Costa Rica is the most expensive country in Latino America? Why don't say that Costa Rica is no more a secure country? Why don't say that the electrical power failed 4 days in the week? Why don't say that the properties are more expensive in Costa Rica than on the coast Mediterraneo in Spain? Why don't say that nothing is functioning in Costa Rica? Internet, power, telefono, police, government. Why don't say that the gastronomy in Costa Rica is poor?" Thank you very much, Roberto, for your thoughtful comments. I gratefully appreciate the opportunity to reflect on all the things that I don't say. And you're very right, Costa Rica isn't a perfect place, but it sure is a place that a lot of us really love. So I'll be here every Friday at noon with our live real estate chats. Why don't say you join me and subscribe to my channel for more information. Thanks very much for joining me today, and have a good one.